We all have a work voice, a family voice, a version of ourselves we reserve for the person we want to impress, and a version we hide when we're alone. We call it politeness. Psychology calls it self-monitoring. But for the ultra-elite, this isn't just a social grace. It's a survival mechanism that eventually mutates into a fracture. Imagine your identity is a tapestry. For most of us, the threads are messy, but they're woven into a single image. But what happens when the threads are pulled so tight by power, by expectation, by the sheer weight of a legacy that fabric begins to tear? Today, we aren't talking about the split personality you see in Hollywood thrillers. We're talking about the bifurcated soul, the psychological phenomenon where extreme wealth forces the human psyche to split into two distinct competing versions of reality. One lives in the light of philanthropy and public grace. The other resides in the dark architecture of the shadow self. It begins with a simple behavior, compartmentalization. In a 2012 study by Piff and colleagues at Berkeley, researchers found that drivers of high-end luxury cars were 4 times less likely to stop for pedestrians at crosswalks than those in humble sedans. The science. This is social value orientation. When wealth increases, the affiliative brain, the part of you that tracks others' needs, begins to dim. To climb the ladder, you must treat people as variables, not as humans. The unsettling insight. The kind billionaire you see on stage isn't lying to you. They have simply learned to turn their empathy on and off like a desk lamp. The split begins here, as a choice. As the behavior hardens, the bias takes root. We call it the attribution error. When the rich succeed, they attribute it to internal genius. When they fail, they attribute it to external market fluctuations. This creates a psychological shield that protects the ego from the reality of luck. The study, the rigged monopoly experiment. When players were given more money and better roles by design, they didn't act grateful. They became louder, took up more physical space, and ate more pretzels than the poor players. The unsettling insight. They start to believe they are a different species. The split moves from how they act to what they believe they are owed. The tapestry is no longer silk, it's becoming armor. To maintain a good public identity while performing dark private actions, tax evasion, exploitation, hostile takeovers, the brain develops unconscious forgetting. The phenomenon, ethical fading. This is the psychological process where the moral implications of a decision are bleached out until the decision looks purely strategic. The unsettling insight. The dark secret isn't a file in a safe. It's a memory that the brain has physically re-encoded to feel like a virtue. They don't remember the people they hurt. They only remember the efficiency they achieved. Now, the split is complete. There is the persona and the shadow. In behavioral psychology, this is known as high-stakes identity fusion. The person becomes so fused with their rich persona that their original empathetic self, the one who liked music or felt fear, is starved of oxygen. The science. Mirror neurons. In the ultra-wealthy, the mirror neuron system, responsible for feeling what others feel, shows significantly less activity. The unsettling insight. They are not evil in the way a villain is. They are hollow. The split has left an empty space where the self used to be. They are a ghost, haunting a brand. We want to believe this is a character flaw. It isn't. It's a biological adaptation to an artificial environment. The brain is a prediction machine. If the environment rewards ruthlessness with dopamine, money and power, and punishes empathy with loss, the brain will physically prune the empathetic pathways. The systemic critique. Our culture acts as a centrifuge, spinning the human out of the successful. We have built a world where the only way to reach the top is to leave half of your soul at the bottom. We aren't looking at dark secrets of individuals. We are looking at the dark design of a system that requires a split personality to function. This leads us to the most uncomfortable truth of all. If identity is shaped by environment and biology is shaped by identity, does the rich person even have free will? Or are they just the end product of a mathematical equation? When we look at the secrets of the elite, the coldness, the distance, the hidden lives, we are seeing the psychological cost of the tapestry. To keep the image perfect, the threads on the back must be a chaotic, knotted mess. You cannot have the great man without the broken animal hidden behind him. We judge the split personality of the elite because it feels foreign. But look closer at your own life. Which version of you is speaking right now? Which version of you is watching this? We are all machines of adaptation. We all wear masks. The only difference is the price we are paid to never take them off. The question is, if you were given the keys to the world, which half of yourself would you be willing to kill to keep them?